Get ready for action, because UFC is bringing the biggest spectacle back to the region. UFC and the Department of Culture and Tourism have officially announced its return, with UFC Fight Night Abu Dhabi happening on Saturday, July 25th, 2026, from the Etihad Arena on Yas Island. This marks a significant return to a partnership that started way back in 2010, and tickets for this massive event will be going on sale very soon. We are talking about a major expansion of the UFC's global network, bringing marquee live events right into the community and creating huge economic and cultural impact across the area. You do not want to miss this historic return. WWE and UFC this summer in Saudi Arabia are still on the calendar, according to TKO President Mark Shapiro. Shapiro stated that while they are monitoring the situation, the company is pressing forward with all scheduled events, indicating that business continuity is currently outweighing geopolitical caution for the organization. We look at what this means for the future of international sports events. Finally, we look at the drama coming from the octagon as former star Tony Ferguson calls out Mike Perry. Ferguson is openly stating his desire to fight Mike Perry next, believing that his style with elbows would create fireworks against Perry's striking. This potential matchup could be the fight of the year, and we are watching closely to see if promoters can make this dream fight a reality. Don't miss any of the latest news. Tune in right now for your daily roundup and stay connected with us. The Ultimate Fighting Championship is set to return to Abu Dhabi, reigniting its popular mixed martial arts presence in the region. UFC and the Department of Culture and Tourism have officially announced UFC Fight Night Abu Dhabi, scheduled for Saturday, July 25th, 2026, at the Etihad Arena on Yas Island. The highly anticipated event marks the continuation of a long-standing partnership between the UFC and Abu Dhabi, which began in 2010. This collaboration has seen the Emirate host major global sporting events, including the Fight Island series during the COVID-19 pandemic, with the UFC holding 2 events there in the previous year alone. UFC emphasized the significance of this ongoing collaboration, stating that the partnership with DCT Abu Dhabi is instrumental in expanding the organization's global network of government and private partnerships. This strategy aims to bring marquee live events to communities worldwide, thereby growing the fan base and delivering significant economic and cultural impact. Tickets for UFC Fight Night Abu Dhabi are expected to go on sale shortly. Further details regarding the complete fight card are slated for release in the coming weeks. Fans interested in the latest developments and event information are advised to visit Abu Dhabi, AE for updates. The UFC is gearing up for a major event with UFC 329. McGregor vs. Holloway 2, scheduled for Saturday, July 11, 2026, at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada. Fans can tune in to the action via Paramount+. The event kicks off with prelims starting at 5 p.m. ET, leading into the main card at 9 p.m. ET. The fight card features a stacked lineup of matchups across various weight classes. The main event pits Conor McGregor against Max Holloway 2 in the 170-pound division. Other notable bouts include Paddy Pimblett facing Benoit St. Denis at 155 pounds and Corey Sandhagen taking on Mario Bautista at 135 pounds. In the 125-pound category, the card includes Loner Kavanagh versus Brandon Royval, as well as Wang Kong against Tracy Cortez and Cody Durden against Ode Osborne. The heavyweight division features Gable Steveson facing Elisha Ellison at 265 pounds, while Robert Whittaker is set to clash with Nikita Krylov at 205 pounds. Further action is expected with Kai Kamaka battling Luke Riley at 145 pounds, Cesar Almeida facing Damian Pinas at 185 pounds, and Cody Garbrandt taking on Adrian Yanez at 135 pounds. Ryan Gandra will also face Zach Reese in the 185-pound bracket. TKO Holdings has confirmed that its scheduled WWE and UFC events in Saudi Arabia will proceed despite ongoing Middle East tensions. TKO President Mark Shapiro stated that the company is pressing forward with all planned regional events, emphasizing that they do not currently have a significant event footprint in the region that would be immediately impacted by the geopolitical situation, unlike other sports such as Formula One, which has already canceled races. Shapiro remarked, "I think the market overreacted a little bit. Middle East, what's going on isn't good for anybody or any business. I want to be clear about that. More importantly, for humanity. We're not like F1. We don't have a lot of events at this time right now that would be impacted, changed, moved, or altered because of what's going on over there." While TKO is prioritizing business continuity, Shapiro stressed caution, adding, "All systems go, but as you'd expect, we're going to monitor the situation. If we have to make a move or have a schedule change, we will do the right thing by our audience and, more importantly, by global affairs." This decision highlights a current prioritization of business continuity over immediate geopolitical risk for TKO. However, the careful language suggests the company is monitoring the situation closely, as significant financial investments are tied to these overseas events, and a premature reaction could jeopardize future relationships. The WWE has a premium live event scheduled for June 27, and the UFC has an event later in the year. Industry observers note that while TKO carries a lighter Saudi event load compared to some sports, the situation serves as a benchmark for other leagues and organizations that may face similar pressure to reassess their regional commitments. Reports indicate that Formula One is already discussing rescheduling canceled races in the area. Former UFC star Tony Ferguson has publicly expressed his desire to challenge Mike Perry in an upcoming mixed martial arts bout. The call-out followed Perry's TKO victory over Nate Diaz at MVP MMA, Rousey vs. Carano, where Perry battered Diaz before the fight was stopped due to facial cuts. Speaking to Fight Hub TV after the event, Ferguson confirmed his interest, stating, I want Mike next. I've been wanting it already a couple of times with the boxing. I got Arman Sarakian coming up in RAF. We'll set it up for the end of the year. Let's talk, Jake Paul." When asked about the potential matchup, Ferguson suggested an MMA fight between him and Perry would differ significantly from boxing due to the use of elbows. "Oh, it's different. He says he likes to throw elbows. I'm the king of elbows. So no animosity, but we know we can sell the expletive out of that card. Let's bring another one here to LA, baby," he remarked. Ferguson's career trajectory has seen him cut by the UFC in 2024 after suffering a submission loss to Michael Chiesa, marking his 8th consecutive loss inside the octagon. Despite this, he has remained active in combat sports, securing victories in professional boxing against Salt Papi and a decision win against Warren Spencer in Misfits Boxing. He is also scheduled to compete in a wrestling match against Arman Sarakian in RAF. The prospect of a Ferguson versus Perry fight is viewed as potentially explosive, given both fighters' exciting styles and willingness to engage the crowd. While the booking remains uncertain, Ferguson's expressed desire suggests that promoters Jake Paul and Nakasa Bidarian may pursue the matchup if Perry is also interested.